Well, I'm finally getting around to making some candy, y'all. And this is some of the easiest and really, really yummy. It is going to be Crock-Pot chocolate clusters. I make these about every year, and they're almost just a little bit too easy. But they're so versatile, too. You can put so many different things in them. So let's get started on our Crock-Pot chocolate clusters. This is some of the easiest Christmas candy you'll ever make. And it does make quite a bit. So if you're wanting to make some candy to give to your coworkers or to family, or you need something for your holiday table, this is a really go-to recipe. And I've got 4 really good big cups of roasted pecans. I roasted these. These are the ones that I roasted and pressure canned. And I do have video on that. But so each cup was pretty full, and all I did was just kind of break them up into bite-sized pieces, just like that. Just kind of broke them in half. And I covered the bottom of my slow cooker, crock pot, or whichever you have, and it's sitting on low right now. I didn't spray it or butter it. We're going to put in 24 ounces of your almond bark. And you can break it up however you want to. You can use half pecans, you can have, and half roasted peanuts. You can use all peanuts and make peanut clusters. You can put walnuts, pistachios, almonds, whatever nut you want. But that's 4 cups, 4 cups of, I just kindly filled the cup up. I'll show you. This is my cup, and I just kind of filled it up really good and put it in the bottom. So it's 24 ounces of your almond bark. I want y'all to look at this. You need 24 ounces of milk chocolate. Once you see what the bag says, 23 ounces. Of course, we already know they're doing this. They're ripping us off an ounce or 2 every time we turn around. So you want 24 ounces of your milk chocolate chips. And I've got, this should be 12 ounces, but this is 11 ounces of caramel bits. And this is not something that you have to have in there. You can just have your milk chocolate and your almond bark. You don't have to have the caramel bits if you don't want to. Or you can put your peanut butter chocolate chips. This is 11 ounces, 1 bag of your caramel bits, and they're over there where your chocolate chips are. And that's all there is to that. Now what I want to do before I put the lid on this, I've got it set for 1 hour on low. I want to get me a paper towel. And as usual, I forgot my paper towel. I'm always forgetting something. Now to keep condensation down, because you don't want to get any kind of moisture on your chocolate, I'm just going to place this over the top and then put my lid on. And that should keep any kind of moisture that might get up on your lid and get down in the chocolate. So that's all there is to that. 1 hour on low. And then we come back, we'll see how melted it is, and we'll stir it. There's different things you can add to it before you make your clusters. Okay, it's been an hour. We're going to check it. Don't look like there's any kind of moisture that got down in there. Once you start stirring it, you'll see that it's pretty well melted. And the more you stir it, all that's going to get mixed in, and it's going to, all the little caramel bits and stuff are going to start to melt. You can see that white chocolate, that almond bark in there is melted good. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to fold all them pecans and the chocolate together. I really don't want to break up my pecans too much. So I'm just going to kind of fold it in there. You see that white chocolate, how it's melted, and you even see some of that caramel, the caramel bits. And you'll be able to taste that caramel that melted in there. You'll be able to taste that in with your chocolate. So once I get this stirred up good, get the pecans incorporated with that chocolate really good, then I'm going to throw in some marshmallows, some mini marshmallows. But you can, right before you start dipping your clusters out, you can add marshmallows, you can add coconut, you can add pretzels, broken up pretzels, you can add dried fruit. But you can see it's getting time for me to start getting these out and making clusters. But before I do, I'm going to go ahead and, the reason I'm waiting to add the marshmallows, because I don't want them all to melt all the way. I want some of them to stay kind of whole. Excuse me. So now we're just going to blend the marshmallows in there. And this is kind of like when you're making a Rocky Road fudge or something. Pretty close to it, but this is so much easier, I tell you. Now, once I get these clusters out on my parchment paper, and you can make them any size you want to, and the size that I'll be making, it should make anywhere from 60 to 70 clusters. I will put these in a cold place, or you can put them in the refrigerator and get a head start on them and get them good and set up, and then they'll stay set up pretty good. Now I got my parchment paper out here, and the best way to do this is to get you a sheet pan, put your parchment paper on it, and then start making your clusters. I'm just going to use my small cookie spoon here. You can make them any size. Now you can leave these out on your counter and they will set up, but it will take longer for them to set up. And you know, when you put that almond bark in with your chocolate, that does help for your chocolate to set up. But there's a certain ratio of almond bark and different chocolates that you have to use for it to set up good. Used to, before I built on the back bedroom, I had a screened-in back porch, and when I made Christmas candy in December, I'd set my candy out there on that back porch where it was so cold at night, and they would set up so good. But like I said, you don't have to put them in the refrigerator, but it will take longer for them to set up. And this is not a candy that you want to really put through the mail, because, I mean, they're chocolate and they will melt. Well, here we are again, meeting at the same table. Well, our clusters are done. I'm going to call this Rocky Road clusters because I've got pecans and I've got marshmallows in them. Some of the marshmallows stay whole and some of them melted. You can even see some of them where they melted in there. Now, I'm going to tell you something about this candy. My other candy did set up that I left out on the counter. But if you want it to really set up hard, you need to put it either out on your back porch where it's really cold, nothing get to it, or put it in your refrigerator. You can even freeze this candy for a little bit. I wouldn't leave it in there too long. Just make sure it's in a good airtight container. This candy here is delicious, and you can add so many different things. You could, like we were talking about, you could add coconut, any kind of nuts. You can add dry fruit to it, anything like that. And this made 60 of this size right here, and these are really good. You can give them out as gifts, but the one thing I wouldn't do with them is I wouldn't put them in the mail, because there is a certain temperature that this chocolate will melt. So I'm just telling y'all that right up front. But you could put this, what I'll do is I'll put probably half of them in here, and or as many as I can get in here. And I'll put parchment paper in between each layer, and I don't know. I think I'll just put them in the refrigerator because they'll stay in the refrigerator till Christmas. And like I said, if you make them way ahead of time, you could put them in the freezer. And then some of them I'm going to put in these cute little containers here that you can get at the dollar store, Dollar Tree, Walmart, anywhere. And I'm going to take one of these to our potluck we're having at work, and just who I might want to give another container to. So you've seen how easy it was to do, how many different ways you can make it, and it works out really well. Now, to use the almond bark, that's what really helps set up your chocolate. A lot of recipes, they'll want you to use shortening or the paraffin wax, and that's always, the paraffin wax is what I always used when I made my peanut butter balls. I've been using paraffin wax for, I can't tell you how many years, making candies. And I don't know if people still do that or not, but it makes some of the prettiest candies. It makes them so shiny, and you really can't taste that wax. I mean, and it's not going to hurt you. So let me put it this way, it's not going to hurt you any more than shortening is. But anyways, I don't know if I'm going to be making peanut butter balls this year. I'm thinking about making some peanut butter fudge. I did make some last year, and I've got a video on that. Maybe some divinity, I'm not sure. I'm really leaning more towards making some sweet bread, like maybe some cinnamon raisin bread, and I'd like to do a video on that before Christmas gets here. But anyways, these have set up. I put these in front of a cold window, opened it up, put it where it's set there, and they have set up really well. The other ones over here on the counter have set up, but on the bottom they're just a little bit sticky. By morning I think they'll be set up good if I don't put them in the refrigerator. But if I put them in the refrigerator or in the freezer, they're going to completely set up good. I mean, any chocolate's going to melt at a certain temperature. So, you know, we just always have to remember that. But these are delicious, and they're just too easy not to make. So I hope y'all try it. I'm going to get them put up and take them. I got a fly in here. I'm going to take them, some of them to school tomorrow, and we're just going to eat, and we're having a potluck, so we're going to have a good time. I want to thank y'all. It's getting to be the end of the year, and Mr. Brown, we will do a video and come back before the end of the year, but it's getting close to the end of the year. And what a year it's been, y'all. I almost feel like I've just kind of coasted through it, and I don't really know if that's really the word for it, because I have put in so much time between work and home and family and just everyday life. It's just, that's why I'm so tired. But I wouldn't have it any other way. So it's been a good ride, and y'all have hung in with me. And you know, if it wasn't for y'all, I don't know that I would still stay here. But it's because of y'all, because I love y'all so much, and I want to share so much with y'all. I mean, it's just like I'm sitting here visiting with y'all, and I hope y'all feel the same way. Mr. Brown has been so busy. I mean, his retirement is just right here. Just right here. And in fact, by the time this video is out, he'll probably be done with school. And like I said in the other video, it's bittersweet to him. So we just need to support him and just cheer him on, because this is a new journey for him. I want to thank y'all again for all the beautiful cards, for all the gifts, and just all the support and love that y'all give us. We're just regular hill folk. We're not nothing special. But we like to share with y'all and to help y'all and to give y'all any support or any love that y'all need. That's what we're here for. And just know that we're always praying for you. So we'll be back in a few days. Not sure what I'm going to do. Just depends on what kind of time I've got. But we love y'all. And you know we're always going to be here for you. So God bless everybody. And I hope y'all try this really good, easy recipe for these chocolate clusters. Goodbye, everybody, and God bless.